In this video I'll be showing you this. It's the Beko DTLCE80041 8Kg condenser dryer. And what I wanted to do today is to show you around the dryer some of the features and benefits that it offers. Just before I start, I would appreciate it if you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Just give us a quick thumbs up. Now you will find that there are several versions of this model, and what I mean by that is this version is the DTLCE80041, and depending on the retailer that you're looking at, it will change the number at the end, because Beko are very good at channel managing the range of products, not just tumble dryers. So you could find that from a different retailer that the last couple of numbers might be slightly different, but essentially it's pretty much the same model. Anyway, all I want to do, first of all, is just show you the dimensions on it, because what you don't want to do is to get it home, unpack it, or somebody unpack it for you, go to put it in place and then it doesn't fit. So the width of it, you're looking at 60 centimetres or around 23.5 inches, and the height, that's 85 centimetres or around 33.5 inches. Both of those are pretty standard dimensions for condenser dryers. And as far as the depth, so there is a slight bulge on the back, and so the overall depth, if you just go into the front here, then you're looking around 57 centimetres or around 22.5 inches. Or if you're including the door, then really you need to allow, say, 61 centimetres or 24 inches. So I've just zoomed in a little bit closer to the display so you can see it in a bit more detail. And I've also got it plugged in. Now, first of all, you've got the control dial, which is I suppose it adjusts the program, and also it's the on and off button, or on and off dial as well. But all you need to do is just select which program you want. You can turn the dial either way, doesn't matter which way you turn it. You've got different sections down here on the right hand side, really depending on what you're going to dry, so whether it's the cottons or synthetics. As I mentioned earlier, this has an 8 kg capacity, and also it features technology called sensor dry. And what sensor dry does is it will detect the moisture content within the clothes, and it will determine how long is needed for the program. And that's a huge advantage, because with electricity prices as they are, especially at the moment in the UK, if you can try and save money, then that's always important. But what it will do is it can either cut down the time that's needed to do the drying, or it stops you drying too long. So, you know, for me, sensor dry is almost a no-brainer. I don't really understand why people wouldn't want that kind of technology. But first of all, you've got different forms of sensor drying here. So I'll show you this on the cotton. So for the iron dry, then what that will do is when you put the clothes in, it will leave them slightly damp at the end of the program, so you can take them out. And for things like shirts or blouses, that can be ideal when they're ready to iron. The next option on here is the Eco, and with that one, that's where you've got things like your cotton laundry for things like t-shirts, pyjamas, things like baby clothes or underwear, and then they don't really need ironing, but you can put them straight in the wardrobe. Similar concept with the cupboard dry, and that's just for slightly thicker materials. That could be things like tracksuits, thicker trousers. That's really where the cupboard dry option comes in. And if you did want them extra dry, then you've got the extra dry option as well. All you'll find is that normally probably a bit of trial and error as to which program works best for you, because essentially these three programs are very similar, apart from the iron dry at the top. And what you'll find is that the synthetic program, so it's a similar concept. You've got the iron dry and then cupboard dry at the bottom there. Now it is just a note that at the top, so you can dry the full 8 kg load on these, whereas with the synthetics, that's really only the half a load. So that's a 4 kg load. So for these three programs, so iron dry, cupboard dry, and then the jeans program, then that's really designed for, well, as it says, for things like denim, whether it's skirts, shirts, jackets, anything that's denim, that's really designed for the program for jeans. At the bottom here, you've got the core refresh, and what that will do, that's just a really quick 10-minute program. So it doesn't heat at all, and all that will do, if you've had something in the cupboard for a while, then what you can do is you can actually pop it in there, just a quick refresh for 10 minutes, and then take the clothes out, and that can really, really help. The next one here, now I've mentioned about sensor dry, and that it will change the time for you. Now on here, you've got two manually timed programs, 30 minutes and 10-minute program. And the main advantage of those, and I suppose I find at home myself, that what I'll tend to do is I'll do the washing and then I'll tend to hang it out on an airer. But if I put it out on an airer, get rid of the majority of the moisture, and then towards the end I can put it in the tumble-dryer. And for me, that seems to work. I'm not quite sure whether you would do the same, or whether you just put it straight in the dryer. But what this allows you to do, because sometimes I'm putting something in the dryer where it's almost dry, so the sensor would not pick that up. But on the dryer I've got at home, it has got the manually timed option, similar to this. And what this enables you to do is just put it in and force it onto 10 minutes or 30-minute program. So for me, I never really got that, but ever since I've started this way of drying, then it's actually a really, really good feature. Then you've got the outdoor and sports. And with that one, that's a maximum 2 kilogram load. So it's quite a small load now. But what that will do, that's really used for things like clothes made of synthetics, cottons, mixed fabrics, or even waterproof products. So there's quite a range of different materials you can put in there, but again, it's only for a small load. And then you've got a mixed daily, as it says, so that's where you can put both cotton and synthetics, and that's really only a 4 kilogram load. When you're doing your towels, then you've got a dedicated program on there, so that can be for things like, well, other towels, baby clothes, and what it would do is that tends to dry to a slightly higher temperature, and with that one, that's only a 5 kilogram load. So they keep changing the load sizes, which for some people can be a little bit frustrating, because I must admit, I'm looking through this is the instructions, and it gives you an idea of the maximum capacity in here. But of course, once you put the instructions to one side, then you can't really remember the maximum capacity for each program. So personally, I wish they'd either put a little label next to it, just so you've got a rough idea. Because what will happen is, if you go and put, say, a full 8 kilogram load in on a program, especially on here where it's maximum 2 kilogram, then it will just take hours and hours to dry. Next program, which is called Gentle Care, and with that one, that's again maximum 2 kilogram load, and that's really for things like shirts, to be dried in more of a sensitive manner, as they call it. And what it will do, just the way that the drum rotates, it's designed so you get less creasing, and hopefully that helps with reduce the amount of ironing you need to do. And then the last one, so you've got super short, 0.5 kilograms. As it says, it's half a kilogram, so it's a really small load. So I suppose the idea is if you've got a couple of shirts that you needed, so I mean, example for me at home would be if the kids have suddenly realised that I washed the shirts and they needed to be dry quickly, then just pop a couple of shirts in, super short, half a kilogram, and that shouldn't take too long. It's around sort of 15-20 minutes to get those dry. As it comes to the right hand side, you will see, well, you probably won't see at the moment, but you have got different indicators down the left hand side, and that's things like when the container needs to be emptied or when the filter needs to be looked at. You have also got the buzzer option as well. So if you want the buzzer at the end of the program to buzz, then you've got the option to either have it on or just switch it off. You have got a child lock option. So the child lock is where you press these two buttons for 3 seconds, just hold it in, and that can really help if you've got little kids that like to come and play with dials. Then just press and hold that for 3 seconds. And also the same, when you need to unlock it, just press and hold those two buttons to unlock the machine. You have got a time delay option. So if you wanted it to be delayed before it starts by either 3, 6 or 9 hours, then just press that button. And that's really good if you've got things like economy 7, where you've got things like cheap electricity during the night. Or if you just want it to be on, if you want to delay the start of it because you're going out and you don't want the clothes to be left there during the whole day, then that's a very good option. And then the last one you've got is the start and pause. The reason it says pause there is if you needed to put something else in, so if you've had the drying program on for say 15-20 minutes, if you realise that you've just got one t-shirt that has to go in that the kids need for that day, then rather than just opening the door, because what that does is that actually cancels the sensor. So in theory, you're starting the program again, whereas what you should do is you should press the pause button, then open the door, pop it in, and then carry the program on. Now, it's not ideal putting a damper item in with clothes that have already started to dry, but I know naturally people will tend to do that. When it comes to emptying the water on this, it's really easy. All you need to do is just pull the container out, and you just got the hole there. Just go and empty the water out of there into a sink or drain. Now, there is another way that to save you having to use that. I'll just show you that in a moment. Now, with this dryer, you do have another option rather than having to empty the water out each time. You've got a cheeky little drain hose here, and what you can do is you can just fix it at the bottom. So it's all in the instructions how to do it. It's really easy. So just pop that on at the bottom, and then connect that into, ideally, just an external drain hose, probably connected to where your washing machine is. And what that will do is that will just get rid of the water basically during the drying process, and that just saves having to empty the container. A common question I get asked, just while I've got the tumble dryer this way around, is that, do you need to take this off? It's like a foam or spongy finish on it. Just leave it on. So I've had people before where they've tried to peel it off, but just leave it on. That's what the manufacturer's intended. I'll just show the energy label on this. As you can see, it's a B energy rating, which, to be fair, is not the most energy efficient on the market. But if you're comparing it to other models around a similar price, then this isn't too bad. If you're thinking about buying one of these models, I have provided a link below to show you where to get one at a competitive price. Hope you enjoyed this quick video on the Beko DTLCE80041 8Kg condenser dryer. Please give us a thumbs up, click subscribe on my YouTube channel, leave any comments below. I do ask for comments, whether it's good or bad, about the video. If there's something I should have done, or if there's any questions you got on it, then just pop in the comments and I'll get back to you, because we've got this on display all the time. Also, if you have got one of these, or if you have got a Beko condenser dryer, let me know what you think about it, because I'd always appreciate the feedback. Thanks for watching.